Hello everyone and welcome to episode 31 of RETRY. Today we're going to be looking back at another of my personal favorites, Tecmo's Super Bowl, released in 1991 for the original Nintendo. You know, Electronic Arts wasn't always the king of sports games. I have to tell you that this is one of the most heatedly contested NES multiplayer games that me and my friends play. Thanks to my friends, I have nightmares of Bo Jackson, Barry Sanders, and that goddamn Christian Okoye. No offense, man. Not that you would ever watch my video, but I don't want Christian Okoye beating my ass. But seriously, nightmares, man. Nightmares. Personal demons aside, I think it's time for me to start talking about why this game is so special. One of the most important reasons why Tecmo's Super Bowl had such a profound effect on people. It was the first original Nintendo game to include both the NFL Teams license and the Players Association license. Previous football games to this had one or the other, but never both. So when someone was absolutely brutalizing you, you knew it was Marcus Allen, you knew it was Barry Sanders, and you knew it was Joe Montana. Tecmo's Super Bowl included all 28 NFL teams at the time, and also included a Pro Bowl team that you could edit the players. Although you couldn't make changes to your defensive line, you were allowed 6 substitutes to make changes to your offensive line. Don't like the plays you're given? Well then screw them then. You could actually go in and edit the plays that were available to each team. The football players all had attributes in-game that allowed them to perform differently. For example, the elite running backs in the game could consistently break non-sliding tackles. Tecmo's Super Bowl also included cutscenes for touchdowns and halftime events, making it feel even more like you were part of the game. It also gave you the perfect opportunity to talk crap to your friend who just let you score a touchdown. Not to mention, this is the greatest halftime show ever, because it ends with a panty shot. Keep in mind here, we're still talking about an original Nintendo game, a game that had multiple game modes. You could play the preseason, the regular season, the Super Bowl, and the Pro Bowl. Want to know how bad you just put the beat down on someone? Well, good news. At the end of the game, you get all your statistics. Running, passing. It's a lot like reading a sports page. Now, I'm kind of a purist and I don't normally talk about ROMs, but this is a game where I have to make an exception. ROMs are essentially old console games that have been dumped to computer files, and then people use programs called emulators to run them. Why I mention this is because Tecmo's Super Bowl is the most hacked NES game of all time. The most common changes that people like to make while hacking this game is updating the roster so that you can play this great retro game, but with all the current NFL players. My friends and I aren't the only people that take this game very seriously when we play this game competitively. There's actually an annual Tecmo Super Bowl tournament held in Madison, Wisconsin every single year. They invite players, they duke it out, and they crown a champion who gets a trophy and other prizes. There's not a lot of original Nintendo games that are still seeing tournament play in North America. Just another reason why this game is so special. If you take the time to track this game down, it's definitely worth it. It's still one of my favorite football games of all time. If you don't feel like tracking down an original Nintendo version or Super Nintendo version of this game, I've got good news. It was released this year to the Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network with HD graphic upgrades, but don't worry, you can still play it in the 16-bit glory if you want to. And trust me, I still want to. But with that said, I'd like to close today with a few tips on how not to get murdered next time you play this game. If you want to play the passing game in Super Tecmo Bowl, just pick the 49ers. Montana is so good, he doesn't throw interceptions. If you want to run, try Barry Sanders in Detroit. Seriously, in this game, he's a god among men. After you get the ball to a wide receiver or running back, run in a zigzag pattern. It's very easy to dodge diving tackles doing this. Lastly, if you have to go up against one of the elite running backs, take them down with 2 or 3 tackles. Don't try to get fancy, don't try to dive. Everybody runs in the zigzag pattern and it's too easy to dodge.
Ready, down, put.
Thanks for watching. For VideoGameSaga.com, this is Tony B, and I'm out. Retry? You know it.